Good evening. The Hearthstone Winter Championship ended just like maybe 5 minutes ago, and the winner was Stan Udachi, some Russian guy. And anyway, I want to talk about like race and its relations to esports, because like nowadays we have all these liberal ideas that all races are equal and stuff, but I don't think that's true. Like I do think there are like you look at the NBA, for example, the basketball league in America, and it seems to me that most people there are black. Like of course there are some white and even Asians there, but mostly it's black people. And I notice like certain trends, especially when it comes to Hearthstone from Blizzard, this card game. And let's just look at the list of all of the people in the Winter Championship. There's Russian people, Ukrainian, American, Canadian, and many Chinese, one Japanese, one Korean, Hong Kong, and Taiwanese guy. And they're of course like Chinese ethnically. And also like many of the Americans, like Frozen and Taray, they are ethnically Asian. At least like I think Frozen, he was the second one. He lost to Stan Udachi. His name is Frank Chang, so he's also Chinese ethnically. So I do think that there seems to be like some, I don't know, this trend that white people and Asian people seem to excel at Hearthstone better than like I haven't seen like really any black professional players in Hearthstone, or like not many Middle Eastern ones. Maybe there are some who are ethnically, like I don't know, life coach, if you know who he is. He's German, but maybe he's more like ethnically he might be Middle Eastern. Not sure about that, but anyway, like I do think it's correlation, especially like I think like even among like Asians, I think Chinese people, because like Frozen, he's Chinese, and I know this guy called Trump, he's one of my favorites. He's ethnically Chinese, and like they seem to be dominate Asia when it comes to Hearthstone compared to Korea and Japan. At least that's my impression. And of course there's many like good like European and American white people and Russians. I don't know if you really count them as European or not, but whatever, that's not my point. But yeah, I do think there is like like there's this trend, and I don't think it's like arbitrary, but like when we look at it, it's not to say that black people are incompetent when it comes to video games, but I know there are like some black people good who are good in Street Fighter. Like this is the top 10 players of I guess 2017 Street Fighter. Singaporean, so he's Chinese. His name seems like he's Chinese and not like Malay or something. And Japanese, of course, American, and he looks Asian. Then there's one black guy. Gustavo Romero. Okay, he might be like a Latino, Japanese, Korean, Japan, and Gonzalez. So maybe it's like a Japanese and Asian in general are good, and maybe it's like Latino and black. And I know there's like I found this guy Snake Eyes. He's black. It says he's considered the best Zangief player of Street Fighter 4 and 5, and maybe there's others. I don't know much about like Street Fighter professional scene at all, but I've just heard that there are some black people. But like when we look at Starcraft, there's the Wikipedia article. I don't know if this is an accurate representation of the professional Starcraft competition stuff, but like of course everybody knows that South Korea is the best when it comes to Starcraft. And well, here is list of professional StarCraft teams. The teams are all Korean. I don't know if there are like non-Koreans in those teams or something, but like then we scroll down and there's like notable professional StarCraft players: Lee Hyo-hwan, Lee Yu-yeon, Yol, Choi Yun-sung. Yeah, they're all Korean. Like, at least maybe it's just like maybe this article was written by a Korean and like they are trolling anybody, like they don't want to like notify non-Korean players, like don't want to mention their names, but like at least according to this article, it seems like all of the Koreans dominate StarCraft, which is certainly true, but like that non-Koreans aren't really like I don't know, they don't really matter when it comes to StarCraft maybe. But I just think it's like interesting that there is this racial and even national divide in some sense. And I do think that it says something about people, how like I guess the psychology of people, like how their race affects it and what sort of preferences they have. And like because like both Hearthstone and Starcraft, they're from Blizzard, but both are like more strategic games. But of course Starcraft, you have to have like, you know, 1 million clicks per second or however it is to be a good player. So this is like, you know, you have to be able to manage like, you know, loads of different units and your production lines and stuff to be a good player. And there's like, you know, strategy and also real-time skills that are required to be good at StarCraft, whereas like and in Hearthstone is of course strategy, but I guess it's also like because Hearthstone, I'm not good at it. I haven't played it in over a year. I cannot stand playing it, but I do like watch Hearthstone streamers and stuff. I don't know, for some reason I enjoy it. But anyway, like because it has a huge element of RNG, like randomness, and sometimes you just get screwed by like really bad luck. And I'm not just saying because it's a card game, but on top of just, you know, maybe you draw the right cards or not, but then there are all sorts of effects in the game that like increase the randomness even more than in many other card games. So maybe it requires like this, I don't know, not taking it personally when the game just decides to screw you or something, and, you know, not get bogged by the negative aspects of the game. So maybe it is something like, I don't know, like black people are, according to, I don't know, racist stereotypes, they are more like they're not so good at controlling their temper, so maybe they are more like suited for this sort of action game like Street Fighter or something, because that's why you don't see them so much in Hearthstone or like in StarCraft. Which is, I've never played any StarCraft game except like the board game, but of course I know what it is, and I've played like Warcraft games, Warcraft 2 and 3, and other RTS games. So I sort of know what it is, and it has this, you know, strategy element to it that, I guess you can say that Street Fighter has some strategy to it as well, but not in the same sense as, Hearthstone or StarCraft. So anyway, I do think there is like that, you know, race, and I guess you could like try to argue like, no, it's because of their cultural backgrounds, but I do think that, culture is a creation of race, and so it does like somehow affect you, like whether it is like just your preference, like what you will find exciting, like, you know, maybe some sort of people find fighting games, like direct fighting games, one-on-one fighting games, more exciting, whereas others like, you know, the strategic aspect of Starcraft or something, or just the, I don't know, the card aspect of Hearthstone or something. So yeah, I do think that it makes a difference. Like, and I'm not saying that, you know, it means that, oh, that's because because Koreans are best at StarCraft, they are racially superior. No, it just means they are racially or culturally superior in StarCraft, or like whites and Asians are racially and like culturally superior in Hearthstone, and well, I guess pretty much anybody can be good at Street Fighter as long as, you know, you're good at it. Like, I guess it's more like a equal opportunity game in that sense, I suppose. But yeah, the race does play into it. That's my point. It's just to, and I don't think like I would. It's more like you know, if you want to go into some sort of identity politics crap with this, I would say maybe it's like a positive when it comes to black people that they don't play Hearthstone or Starcraft. I'm not a fan of Blizzard games. Like, I don't know, I don't like them that much, but they are of course like a big thing in like in the esports scene, and have a lot of fans who like their games and stuff. I'm not one of them, except like the old Warcraft games maybe, but I don't know what else to say. I just think that this is like, it's not like arbitrary, like that just, you know, these people have to be, seem to be the best ones in the game, like you know, they represent the best of the best, and I don't see any Middle Eastern guys there like in this list, or Africans or African Americans or African Europeans, or like, even I didn't know who is Green Sheep. He's British, but look, he's Asian. This is James Law. Sounds Chinese to me. So I don't know. I think it's fascinating, and yeah, I'm not. My point isn't to argue that one race is superior as like human beings, or you know, that you know, it means that because these people are better at Hearthstone than others, that you should exterminate the other races. No, it's just that it does somehow affect you, like your psychology. That's my point. And I don't know, I guess nowadays it's evil and racist to point it out, but there are differences in race, and I think it's like just insane not to acknowledge differences. And but yeah, I'm not a fan of, like, you know, somebody who will say, like, who go on all this IQ stuff, like, oh, like theoretically whites have more IQ than blacks, it means this and that, and like, well, yeah, it's just that is supposed to mean that whites are better than the blacks. No, it just means whites are better than blacks in some respects. And then, but when you look at NBA, so maybe black people are better at you know, basketball or whatever, and so on. But yeah, it does affect, and it's like, I don't know, it's just it's crazy to me that it's something that I have to point this out, that people make different kinds of decisions. They have different kinds of skills and tendencies based on their race.